The ad was simple. Seeking Earth male for temporary union with galactic citizen. Must play the role of husband. Generous compensation. No romantic involvement required. Contact Zeta Corp Intergalactic Matchmaking Services. I laughed when I first read it. Figured it was one of those internet scams designed to lure desperate single guys. But then I saw the company listed, Zeta Corp. A name buzzing around Earth for years after interstellar relations were formally opened. Legit. Powerful. Untouchable. And I was broke. 3 months behind on rent, utility credits cut off, and a landlord who kept reminding me that oxygen costs money now. With nothing to lose, I submitted my vid profile and resume. I didn't expect a response. I didn't even expect to live much longer at that point. But 2 days later I was on a shuttle bound for Theta 4, with a contract chip embedded in my wrist, and a suitcase containing my best Earth suit. My new wife was waiting. Her name was Lurivinka, Luri for short. She was tall, iridescent-skinned, with 4 fingers on each hand and large, hauntingly violet eyes. Her hair shimmered between silver and blue depending on the light, and her voice sounded like wind chimes laced with static. "So," she said upon first meeting, glancing at me up and down like I was a rental speeder. "You're the human. Not bad. Average facial symmetry. No obvious diseases. That'll do. That'll do," I asked, raising an eyebrow. She rolled her eyes. "This is transactional, human. Don't romanticize it. We'll go through the necessary motions, sign the union rights, and in 30 Earth days, we dissolve the arrangement." "Right. No romance," I said, half relieved, half disappointed. What I didn't know was that her people, the Qatari, were in the midst of a brutal succession crisis. And she wasn't just any Qatari woman. Luri was the eldest daughter of High Matron Venka, leader of one of the most powerful noble houses on Theta 4. That made Luri both heiress and target. But according to Qatari law, no heir could claim leadership without a bonded mate. The law didn't care about species, but it demanded a legal and public union to prove maturity and political stability. She needed a warm body to stand next to her at the council hearings. The fake marriage began simply enough. We attended galas and political summits, our hands locked in display mode, fingers entwined for public bonding optics. We gave press interviews where we recited rehearsed backstories. How we met at an intergalactic research seminar, how we connected over a shared love of planetary geology, how I fell for her after a space yacht ride under twin moons. It was all lies. And yet, not all of it. In private, Luri was sharp, guarded, and deeply burdened by the expectations of her family. Her brother had died mysteriously a year ago. No one ever proved it, but rumor had it that another noble house had orchestrated it to weaken their family's claim. Now Luri was next in line, and next in danger. I started noticing things. How guards rotated awkwardly around her chambers. How her food was double scanned and still made her ill some nights. How her eyes never seemed to rest, always scanning the room. One night, after yet another political banquet, I found her standing alone on the balcony of our temporary estate, looking out over the shimmering skyline. "You ever get tired of pretending?" I asked, stepping beside her. She didn't look at me. "Pretending what? That this is all just performance. That none of it matters." "It matters," she said softly. "If I fail, my house collapses. Thousands lose protection. Centuries of heritage erased. And if I die..." She turned to me then. "If I die, my bloodline ends." A heavy silence settled between us. "Doesn't sound fake anymore," I said. She gave me a strange look then. One I hadn't seen before, like she was trying to see through me. Things changed after that. We stopped sleeping in separate quarters. Not because of romance, but security. Someone had tampered with her room's oxygen filtration. The council dismissed it as a malfunction. Luri wasn't convinced. Neither was I. We started watching each other's backs. Our late-night conversations grew longer, more vulnerable. She told me of her childhood in the crystal spires of Zevelker, of how her people learned emotion control from birth, how being a woman meant wielding power like a scalpel, precise, silent, deadly. I told her about Earth. My useless degree, my crumbling dreams, my parents' debt, the loneliness of being irrelevant. We were both actors in our own tragedies. And slowly, the line between performance and reality blurred. Then came the assassination attempt. It happened during a council summit. Hundreds of nobles gathered in the Grand Halo Chamber, a colossal circular arena where decisions about planetary governance were made. Luri stood at the center, delivering a speech about reform, about hope, about unity between species. I stood behind her, my ceremonial robe too tight and my instincts screaming. That's when I saw him. A council aide, face twitching unnaturally. His eyes locked on Luri. His hand in his robe. I moved before I could think. Diving forward, I tackled Luri just as the blast pulse ripped through the air where her chest had been. Screams erupted. Guards surged forward. The attacker was vaporized on the spot by automated defense drones. Luri lay beneath me, stunned. Her eyes wide. You saved me," she whispered. "No husband discount for that one," I muttered. She laughed. Genuinely. For the first time. After that, everything escalated. We were moved to a secured fortress city. My contract was upgraded. Now I was permanently bonded until further notice. The council insisted on it. A surviving heir with a devoted spouse. Great optics. But that wasn't all. I began to receive threats. Not Luri. Me. Hollow messages in broken galactic common. Leave the Qatari. Or die screaming. Suddenly I wasn't just playing husband. I was living like one. Dodging political enemies, surviving attempts on our lives, and gradually growing closer to a woman I was never supposed to love. Yes, love. It crept in like stardust. Quiet, beautiful, impossible to shake. The way she looked at me when she thought I wasn't watching. The rare time she touched my hand just because. The warmth in her voice when she called me by my real name. Not just human. I couldn't fake it anymore. And then, on the 32nd night of our fake marriage, I kissed her. She didn't stop me. The next day, Luri was gone. Vanished. Her security team slaughtered. No signs of struggle. No messages. I lost it. Stormed into council chambers, demanded answers. They dismissed me. A performer. One of the nobles spat. You were never meant to be more than a placeholder. But I knew her. I knew she wouldn't leave without reason. So I did what desperate husbands do. I went rogue. Using access codes Luri once gave me, I hacked into Zeta Corp's interstellar transport logs. Traced unauthorized transport signatures. Found a route matching her genetic ID. Faint but traceable. It led to a moon station outside Qatari jurisdiction. Black zone. No surveillance. No laws. I went alone. The facility was a torture lab. Not metaphorical. Literal. Machines designed to dissect Qatari DNA, to weaponize their biology, to break heirs and remake them as puppets. Luri was strapped to a neural siphon, barely conscious. "They want to extract her memories," said a voice.